Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. It's been a little over a week since I've reached out from CareerWize, but I wanted to keep the rhythm kind of going because I'm getting a lot of questions and I'm getting a lot of interest, and I want to make sure that I get questions answered from all of you. For those that don't know me, I'm Faye Kelly, the author of our medical coding curriculum at CareerWize. So please, if you have time to go on our website, check it out, and give me a call or reach out to me, message me on Facebook, whatever works for you. Today it's going to be really kind of short, but it's a topic that keeps coming up. Where do medical coders work? So what I've done is I've made a list, so you're going to see me looking at my list a lot today so that I don't leave out anything. But as medical coders, when you think of you're going to take the program and you're going to work in a hospital or you're going to work in a physician's office, well, I encourage my students to think outside the box. And I encourage them as they're finishing up their school that we talk about where they want to be down the road. I mean, down the road, you're not going to be with CareerWize because you're no longer a student, but my students are given my personal cell phone number, and they will tell you that if a year from now you're ready to see if maybe you can advance or change or whatever, then that's my pleasure to help you. And I've said it so many times before, I had someone help me or I wouldn't be doing what I love to do today. So I think that's one of my purposes here in life, is to help my students and then help my colleagues and others in the medical coding career. So outside of hospitals, physician offices, where else do they work? Well, you work at insurance companies. And if you're not familiar with this career, and if you haven't done any homework, then you're like, okay, insurance companies, all of these are going to kind of throw you for a loop for a minute, but that's okay because it gives you some food for thought and to think about what's ahead for your future once you finish that coding and we help you land that first job. What can happen next? So an insurance company, how is that? Oh my goodness. So your physician offices and your hospitals and your clinics, they're billing these insurance companies, right? Well, you've got somebody auditing on that end. So they hire coders to help adjudicate the claims, to help make sure. And then a lot of times in the hospital and the clinics and all, these coders at the insurance companies will deny something based on the code. Well, that claim will go back to the hospital or clinic or wherever, and the coder there at that facility will in turn appeal it or agree. Hey, we just missed the code this time. So insurance companies, and that's a biggie. That's a big industry itself, medical coders and insurance companies. Think about this one. This is schools, technical schools. If you've got your bachelor's, you can certainly teach at a college, but you can teach medical coding. Maybe you just want to do that part-time. Maybe it's something that you enjoy, is teaching and getting out and reaching out to others. So that's definitely a viable career for medical coders to teach at local colleges. The other thing is consultants. Oh my goodness. So there are so many companies out there. When you look up medical coding consultants. All right. Now keep in mind, you've got to have experience to be a consultant. You're not going to come out of the gate being a consultant, but you're going to get that experience. That's the purpose in you taking any medical coding course, is to get experience and then decide where you want your journey to take you, and it could take you several places till you find your place. All right, but consultants, um, hospitals, clinics, revenue auditing companies, they use coders to actually go in and review claims at a designated facility or insurance company or hospital or wherever. Consultant is hired to go in and make sure that the coding is done correctly. They're not only responsible for making sure the coding is done correctly, you're also responsible for teaching that what was missed. Okay, because when I was at the hospital and we had consultants come in, the attitude of a consultant is very important. When you go in, you're not going in like I'm the consultant and I'm going to pinpoint what you did wrong. You're going in as I'm here, I'm on your team. Let's see if we can improve our coding. And that's what you do. I mean, you look at a designated number of charts and then you meet with the coders and the managers and supervisors and whoever else, maybe even some physicians, and help them to understand how they can better apply codes for this, for accuracy, for statistics, for quality assurance, for revenue reimbursement. So that's consultants. The other thing that I think you'll find interesting is the pharmaceutical and medical device manufacturers. So when a new device is going to be put on the market, they have to decide what type of medical code to assign this specific device. And coders are hired to do this. Once again, this is going to be your experienced coders, but Google this. It's very interesting, the different companies that hire coders. The first one that comes to mind is Medtronic. Just look at them and see. You can look at the devices, and then you can see they may even, I don't know, I haven't looked, but they may even have a need for a coder. So you could kind of see what they're looking for when they are looking for coders. All these fields, go in and look, do your homework. Find out, okay, this is kind of where I want to head, but you got to get there. All right. So then we have software development. You think about when you're coding that 3M, TrueCode, Clintegrity, encoders. How do they know what the codes are? And how do they know the detail of the code and what can be coded with this and what can't be? Well, it's a medical coder's world. So that's a biggie. That's a biggie. That's something that might interest you. Lawyers will hire medical coders with experience to actually look. And this is something I've done, and I've done this now over 10 years. Look at medical records for the lawyer to determine their questions, like a lot of this isn't so much coding as it is being able to interpret a medical chart. So they want questions like when the patient arrived, the level of consciousness on arrival, their acuity levels from admission to discharge. Tell me what was going on for the 9 days they were in ICU. Tell me what went on before and after surgery. So once you've had years of experience of actually looking at medical charts, wow, that's interesting. And maybe you just want to do that part-time, because in your area that there may not be a lawyer that has the full-time need. But think outside the box. You don't have to just lock yourself in for full-time and that's it. If you have the time and the availability, do some extra work on the side. not only for extra financial gain, but also for that extra expertise, trying to find your niche as well as just the enjoyment of what it is. The other thing, the last thing is just corporations. And this is, your larger corporations that are self-insured. Okay, so they're going to get their claims in from the billers, from the billing facilities and clinics and so forth. And if they're self-insured, they're just like an insurance company. They need somebody making sure that these codes are correct. And that's our world, medical coding. Now, this isn't everything. My little sheet isn't everything, but it's a lot. It's the majority of what I think a coder can bring to any organization outside of the hospital and the physician offices, like you so often think about with medical coding. Please feel free on our CareerWize Facebook page. There's a place to make an appointment with me to talk about your career, to talk about our classes. Our classes, they're all online, okay? It's work at your own pace. It's open to you 24/7. The day you enroll, it becomes your course. There's a place on every page where you can ask questions, and we're talking about some of these careers in the course, and you may have a question. Any question. It doesn't have to be about coding. It could be just you in this profession might have a need to say, okay, what about this or what about that? We're there for you from the time you enroll to the time that you get your first job. So again, thank you for being here today. Thank you for opening up your Facebook page and listening. And if you have any questions, message me. You can put it on the bottom of this video. You can message me on Facebook, whatever it takes to get your questions answered. I'm here for you. So have a wonderful Thursday and a great weekend. It's almost here, and I'll probably see you next week.